Today, I'm going to be talking about yet another phishing scam problem. But first, my name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly. This is based on the latest article from the Hacker News, which you can get in the description down below or by going to tqaweekly.com/SE9EP27. It's about a new kind of active phishing scam that is going on right now on the internet. There are multiple problems in the current way of thinking for all users that leads us to having a problem with even the most seasoned of users. And there are multiple different aspects that led up to this. So aspect number one, the shift from using usernames and passwords on every single website to using one-click logins where we use a social media account to log into another website. In the case of the demonstration, they're using Facebook, but YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and many others have this kind of technology. It is actually safer. And it's even safer when you use two-factor authentication. The problem is that information is targeted by scammers looking for your usernames, passwords, access to cookies, access to one-time tokens, and plenty more to get at your identity and your financial information. This is not explicitly using bugs in websites. This is psychological warfare in the sense that we are hacking the person's mind and thought processes, which, by the way, is the most common form of hacking. You can see this in sales, where you sell somebody something they weren't there to buy in the first place. That is hacking at, let's say, the most moral sense of the word, if you can call that moral. Now, because we're used to using usernames and passwords or logging with social media accounts, we're also used to the idea that we are doing it to stay safe. So a lot of people tend to believe that if you're entering your username and password into a place, it must be safe. Other details that we're looking for are the domain name looks real. It has an SSL certificate. In some cases, it has that green bar, which doesn't mean very much except that their identity has been checked. So just because it has a green icon or a lock doesn't mean one's better than the other. It just means one's identity is been certified in theory, which you'll understand in a moment. And of course, with the years, UI designing for websites and applications has become more standardized, with the standard HTML5 being the favorite of all people because it has been supported by every single mobile phone as well as every single browser on the internet, meaning that we're used to technology that is universally standard. That technology, HTML5, has a bunch of different technologies in it that allows it to behave in a way that we're not necessarily expecting if we don't know how that standard works, which a lot of you should start looking into. HTML5 has various technologies such as the overlay, which allows you to open a pop-up without actually opening a new window. The other thing is that the way those pop-ups work, those overlays, you can design them to look like anything you want. In fact, cloning actual real interfaces with all of the domain names and close buttons and everything. And you can even make them draggable, which means you can put them anywhere on the screen. This is a problem when you're looking at something that says the correct domain name, that it's been locked, that has an SSL, that has a close icon, and you can even drag it. Because unless you're willing to do things out of the ordinary to figure out if it's real or not, you might think that's real because we've always told you that's the information you need to be looking at. Now, how do you spot the fake in that case? There are only two ways that most people will be able to spot the fake. One is by trying to drag it off the screen because it won't be able to leave the browser window. This is one more immediate way of seeing that it is fake. The other is a little bit more subtle because a lot of people have condensed icons on your taskbar. So you would have to actually look at the icon of your taskbar for your browser to see if that window had its own process. Yes, because if it's actually a window, it will show up as another browser entry. Now, if you were to do that and you see it's another browser entry, it is more likely, and we're going to use that from now on, the real thing. Because if it's not there, it's only an overlay and therefore is fake. And if you're trying to figure out why is it possible for it to have a Mac user interface on a website, or a Windows user interface, or a Linux user interface on the website, or even have the correct browser information, this is because every time you connect to a website, it can just read this information off the metadata your computer ships over the internet to every single server. They know that you're using whatever operating system and whatever browser you're using, as well as the versions of those operating systems and browsers. So they can just serve you the correct window for that particular user interface. And that is why it is a dangerous current trend that you're going to have to start paying attention for. Because like I said, this is psychological warfare in the sense of hacking your mind, making you believe it's real, and that is a problem. So you're going to have to stay very vigilant on the internet from now on, and you're going to have to make sure you have two-factor authentication turned on, and you're going to even have to learn how to check your social media accounts for websites that you're logged into that you're not supposed to be logging to, and turning those off as well. And if you want more information on this, I definitely suggest that you go to the hackernews.com website or follow them on Twitter, much like I do, because this is one of the sources that will give you a heads up when this kind of stuff actually happens. So like I said, if you want to see their video and read their article, it's down below in the description on YouTube, or you go to tqaweekly.com/SE9EP27 for it in the sources of this episode. I just want you to remember, this is psychological warfare against you. This is not exploiting bugs in any of those websites. Those one-time logins or one-button, one-click logins are perfectly safe. You just have to be paying extra vigilant attention next time you see one. Like if you like it, dislike if you didn't, share with those that you think can benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can find other episodes on this kind of topic, as well as others. Use the search engine to actually locate them, as well as being able to use the contact form to email me directly. Have a great day, and goodbye.